Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to go over what this course, Information Systems 3375 Data Visualization course is about as an introduction, and then we will go through the two lectures for this course for this week. So what is data visualization? Um, Before we start, we are going to go over this agenda today. Welcome, what is this class about, and navigate the course and go over the syllabus. So I always like to start every class by asking a student to tell me what comes to your mind when you first see the name or the title of this course, data visualizations. So I want you to pause for a moment and think about what comes to your mind right away when you see data visualization as a title for the course. So keep that in mind, and then we'll continue to see what data visualization is. So data visualization is part of information systems major, part of business analytics majors or minors. And information systems and business analytics, they are usually in the same department within any corporation in the IT department, and they provide four core capabilities for organizations. So those four core capabilities include storing and retrieving data. So uh, we collect as an organization, as a company, as a business, we collect a lot of data about our customers, about our inventories, about our employees, and we want to store this data in a very organized way where we can easily retrieve this data when we need it, right, for analysis. So there are so many different database management systems vendors such as IBM, DB2, Oracle, MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, just kind of to name a few. And Access is Microsoft Access is one of the database management systems as well that help us organize and store data in a very organized way, especially for relational database management systems, right? So then we need to be able to retrieve that data from those piles of database management systems. We retrieve that through what we call it SQL, which is structured query language. So again, SQL is one of the top four skills that are in high demand if you are in a business analytics or if you are in the data science field, which is actually this course will help you kind of be part of that group. So SQL, so the top four skills that are highly demanded in or in highly demand for in data science, business analytics, and information systems include Python, R, SQL, and data visualization, which is Power BI or Tableau/Power BI. And that's what we are going to cover in this class is Tableau and Power BI data visualization. So the second core capability organizations or information systems and business analytics provide to organizations is analyzing and visualizing data. So now we have that raw fact or the data that we just retrieved from database management systems. Now we can analyze this data by aggregating this data, answering questions like what is the average, what is the highest number, what is the lowest, what is the average max, what is the minimum, what is the total, right? Answering questions like that, right? And then when we answer those questions, then we can visualize this information in a format that is easy for top management to grasp and understand to make decisions and take actions, right? So the third core capability information systems and business analytics provide to organizations is automating data operations. So that means we use machine learning, we use programming languages like Python, R, C++, Java to automate those data business processes or business processes that are through data, right? And then last but not least, the core capability organizations receive from information technology or information systems and business analytics is protecting that data, is securing that data, whether it is physically or virtually. So again, you can think about the role of the information systems department and the business analytics department within any organization as the role of the heart to the body. So for us, our hearts receive the bad blood, the blood that doesn't have oxygen from all organs within the body. Then it feeds it with oxygen and then redistributes it distributes this good blood that has oxygen to all organs so they can function and they can continue and function well, right? The same thing for information systems department and business analytics, that we receive raw facts or data from all units within the organization. Then we transform that raw facts to useful information so other units within the organization can benefit from it when we send it back to those organizations where they can make decisions and take actions to reduce waste, improve efficiencies, and at the end of the day, improve the bottom line, which is increase profitability. That's what is really important. So again, what is the role of a business analyst or an information system? You can think about the role of information system manager when you graduate, or a business analyst, as a liaison, as a person in the middle between the software engineers who basically create those programs. They program those softwares, they write the codes, right? And you already have understanding of what they are doing, because you are in information systems and business analytics. And you also have understanding, since you are from school of business, you have taken a lot of accounting classes, finance, marketing, and management. So you understand also the business context. You know what are the roles of those business functions. And then you can translate between those business functions and the software engineers. So you are the middle person. So you save organizations a lot of money when they develop and build a system that costs millions of dollars. You help translate between those two groups. Otherwise, these millions of dollars is going to be a waste. If at the end of the project, they have this project and the system cost $1 million, but nobody is using it. So again, that's your role. You save companies a lot of money, and that's why you are in high demand, right? So in the early 2000s, the World Economic Forum introduced this concept where they say data is the new oil. Just like oil, if it is sitting in the backyard of our house doing nothing, then it is useless. So we need to go in the backyard of our house, extract that crude oil. We take it to a refinery where they transform it and process it and transform it to useful materials like plastic, like asphalt, like gas, right? The same thing for data. We need to extract it from database management systems using SQL so we can then process that data, transform it from raw facts or data to useful information by answering questions like what is the total, how much, how many, and so on, right? And we aggregate that data, we answer those questions, and then we visualize that data, we transform it to useful information for actions, and again, to improve the bottom line, which is profitability. So this course has a couple of objectives and goals. When you graduate from this course, you will be able to master the best practices when it comes to data visualization and building graphs and dashboards, right? And we are going to focus on two software, Tableau and Power BI. Again, I said the top four highly demanded skills in business analytics and information systems. One of them is data visualization using Tableau/Python. Tableau/Power BI. So again, we are going to focus on those two in this class. You will be able to build interactive visualizations where the end user will be able to interact with the data visualization, drill down, sort, filter, and answer questions for themselves. So that's what we mean by interactive dashboards. And we will get into that also in the lectures as well, and by doing them. Again, you will learn advanced Tableau and Power BI features that we're going to cover in this class. It's not just the basics, but we are going to go in depth. And also you will be able to go for the Tableau certification. There is a certification offered by Tableau. You can go for that exam after you finish this class, and you might get that certification after you finish this class. Last but not least, we will focus on the storytelling, how you tell your stories using the data visualization, to tell story using data. And that's really important. And again, I attended a meeting a long time, 4 years ago, where major employers like Adventure and Accenture, and other major employers, they were emphasizing the storytelling of data visualization and data that business analytics majors and information systems majors need to know when they are in the workplace. So we're going to cover that as well. So again, those are the two software that we are going to cover in the class. Tableau, I'm going to provide you with the free license in the corporate America. Usually Tableau charges 2,000 to 3,000 per license per person. But for us, we get that free access license because we have academic alliance with them. And as long as you have that .edu, you will have that access for at least 1 year for now. And you can renew it as well if you have that .edu email for every year for your personal use, right? And then for Power BI, it is part of the 365 that from the university. So it should be also provided to you for free. So you don't need to pay for any licenses. I did a quick trend comparison in Google. They have this Google Trends comparison. So I plugged in the most common data visualization software. So IBM Cognos Insight, that's one of the software, data visualization software that I was trained on earlier, maybe in 2014. And Click View also is widely used. But the two competing ones, as you can see in this graph, is Tableau and Power BI. And that's why they are in high demand. And those skills are very important. And that's why we are covering both of them in this class. So the course is organized, divided into readings, trainings, homework, quizzes, final projects. As you can see here, the readings, we have 2 books that are assigned for this class. So we have the big book dashboard, and I provide this book for you for free, and I provide you actually a link in the syllabus. So you can click on that link and it is an electronic book. So you don't have to buy this unless you want to buy the hard copy from Amazon. I believe you can find used ones in very reasonable price. And then the Z book, Introduction to Microsoft Power BI. This is the book that is electronic also and has a lot of exercises, provides you immediate feedback. So for this one, you will have to pay. And it is very great book. I will also provide you with handouts that are going to be posted in Blackboard throughout the modules or throughout the weeks. So second is the training. So what I mean here by the trainings, I will provide you videos that I have personally recorded, or the videos that were recorded by Tableau. And I will give you the data set, and I will ask you to follow along that video so you can learn the skills by yourself. And then after you complete that exercise or training, you can save that file and submit it and submit those files into Blackboard so you can get graded for those training, and you get credit for it, right? So, but that's how we learn. We learn by doing. We follow along. So that's the training. And then when it comes to the homework, I will tell you now, you have done actually the training where you followed along and you learned those skills. Now show me how you can apply it to a new data set. I will give you a data set and I will ask you to do certain tasks. And then that's how you can show your competency of what you have done in the training, right? So the homework, again, they are going to be different types of homework. Sometimes it is just based on the training. Sometimes it is general, like, for example, the Halloween assignment, where I'm going to give you more details about it. There is also Makeover Monday and other types of homework that are going to be very helpful and interesting for you to demonstrate your abilities and your competencies in this class. So again, quizzes and participation. There will be quizzes every week, and every question will have 1.5 minutes to answer. They are going to be multiple choice questions, sometimes 10 questions, sometimes 5 questions, depending on the week. And then we will have also in-class exercises participation. So every week, maybe every lecture, we will have in-class exercises. We will do them in class. You save them and then you submit them while we are in class. So that way you can receive credit for it. That's why being in class is very important. And if you didn't attend the class, then you are going to miss that participation credit. And then the final project, again, there will be one final project based on Tableau, and that will provide you more details about it, but we'll talk about it when we go through the schedule. But again, if you notice here, we don't have any midterm exam or final exam. My goal for you is to give you that competency learning by doing. Not the goal here in this class is not to memorize, because we can always memorize and forget the second day or after we finish this class. But I want you to learn by doing. That way you can have and take those skill sets with you to the workplace and can make you marketable and get a job. That's what is really important for me. So again, logistics for the class. I have my office hours on Thursdays from noon until 1. You can either come in person or through Zoom. I have that provided you with the link. This is my phone number and my email address as well. And graduate assistant Sada email is here as well, who will be helping with the grading for this class. Again, those are the textbooks. We already talked about them. So again, in this class, I recommend that you use a personal computer using Windows operating system, because there are some assignments, especially when we get to the Power BI. You will need to use a personal computer Windows operating system because it's not compatible with Macintosh or Apple computers. So one way to mitigate that is, if you have a Mac, you can always purchase this license for Parallels Desktop for Mac Student Edition. And then you can basically, it's a virtual machine where you can install any software you want, and you can install any software that is compatible with Windows operating system in that virtual machine. And that way you will not have any problems. So also I provided to you in the syllabus how you can download the latest version of Microsoft Office 365, and also provided to you the links how you can install Power BI and Tableau. Also, this is provided to you in the syllabus. So as you see here, the structure of grading for the course, homework will be counted for 30%. So homework is allocated 30% of your grade, because that's how we learn. We learn by doing, and then again, trainings that helps you kind of get to that level where you can do the homework. So learn homework, training, 30% each. Final project is worth 20%. So 10% for the first part of that final project, and then the 10% for the second part of the final project. Again, there is no exams, so that's why I focus on projects and homework and trainings. In-class exercises and participation. Again, this is also learning by doing. We're going to do in the classroom. Quizzes is based on 10%, and it is going to be based on the lecture and the readings that I assign you for every week. So as you can see, you will see this always in my classes, which is respect. That is my motto. Respect for classmates, respect for your instructor, respect for the class, respect for time, respect for timeliness in terms of attending to class and submission of your assignments and your work. It is very important. And again, this class has a policy which doesn't accept any late work, no matter what, unless you have a documented documented medical excuse. Then we can see what we can do. But my advice for you is to be proactive, start working on the assignments ahead of time. That way you don't miss any assignment. I will provide some extra credit here and there to make up for one maybe or two assignments, but I would not rely on that. So I would just advise that you do everything proactively and don't miss any assignment and attending classes. So to help with that, I provided to you this calendar for what we need, what is due and when. As you can see, from my experience as a student in my undergrad and through teaching in the past 12 years, I noticed that consistency of due dates is very helpful for the students. So as you can see, every Saturday and Sunday, you have something due. So for example, this Saturday, you have the syllabus quiz. discussion, introduction, and then Tableau training for week 1 is due on Saturday. And then for Sunday, you have the homework is due and the quiz on reading and the lecture. And you will notice that we have this trend throughout the semester, right? And so I would recommend that you take a screenshot of this schedule, put it somewhere handy where you can see it. And also there is a way where you can download the calendar from Blackboard to your Outlook. So that way you know when and what is due for each week. Again, going back through the final project, so you will have to submit a project data set proposal. Whether if you are working, it will be helpful to use the data set from where you are working. If you're not working, that's not a problem. I provided to you under this assignment here a couple of links for a couple of sources for data that are very rich data sets. You can select any data set that is related to your hobbies, to anything that you are really interested in. So for example, one of my students in the past selected data set about basketball tournaments. One student did about his purchasing habits through Amazon, and he did very beautiful data visualization based on that. So anything that you are really passionate about, select that data set and do your final project based on it. So you don't have to wait until this date, but you can always send it to me if you like the data set beforehand, and I will let you know. But you need to also follow the instructions here. When you submit your proposal, what you need to submit. For example, a data dictionary, the data set sample, and what your plan is. So that way I can provide to you details and feedback, whether that data set will work or not. So you don't have to wait for this date. You can do it before through email, send it to me, and I will give you the feedback so you can go ahead and get started. Again, this Tableau-based final project will be due on March 24th, which is 1 week after spring break. And then you can do the same project again for the final project using Power BI. So you have done it here in Tableau, but in the final project, you can do it in Power BI. The same project, that would be fine. If you want to do extra, do it in Power BI and do something extra, add to it, that will be extra credit for you. So for me, I want you to be innovative, whatever you want, that will be added to you. And you will notice that we don't have a midterm or a final. Instead of the final exam, we are going to have a presentation session for your final projects where you're going to present your Tableau and your Power BI project in person in classroom. And that will be, again, we usually meet from 6:30 in that day. On that day, we're going to meet at 5:45 until 7:30, which is the time designated for the final exam. So how to succeed in this class? So keep calm, because practice makes perfect. So the best way to succeed in this class is by being proactive. Start the assignments early. If you have any questions, ask me during Zoom, during office hours, or through or in class, right? And then we can, so that's one thing. The other thing is be resourceful. Try to be resourceful. So what we mean by resourceful is that if you have a question, you face the challenge. So the best way to do is to go try to solve that challenge or that question by going through Google or YouTube that question and see if there is a solution for you there. That's the first line of defense. Second line of defense, ask your classmates. They might have an answer for you. The third line of defense is going to be me, and I'm going to always be available for you to answer any questions for you. But this is the best, most efficient, because when you are in the workplace, you know, your instructor might not be there, or your boss, you might not feel comfortable asking your boss, right? Because they might be judging. For me, I'm not going to be judging you, but your boss, you never know. So they might be judging, right? So you want to first try to answer it yourself. And then the second line of defense, ask your colleagues if you are in the workplace. That's how I did when I was working for H&R Block. I had really trustworthy friends who are colleagues in that workplace. If I have a question, I would always ask them, and I will not ask my boss unless it is something that my colleagues can answer, right? So that way I don't look bad. But for this class, I'm not judging. So again, a little bit about myself. So I am a US citizen. I grew up in a small country called Yemen in the Middle East, which is overlooking the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean. And I studied English in Yemen after high school. And then after high school, I came to all the way to Kansas, which is the middle of the United States, at Emporia State University, where I double majored in business administration and in information systems or computer information systems. So I was also working two part-time jobs as a tutor for information systems, for COBOL, programming language, and also I worked at the international office where I worked with a lot of international students from all over the world. It was a great experience for both positions. I graduated cum laude, which is really, I'm really proud of that. And I also received the graduate assistantship right after I graduated from my undergrad, where I did my MBA with a concentration in information systems there at Emporia State University. I graduated in 1.5 years. After that, in 2008, I joined H&R Block headquarters IT department there in Kansas City, Missouri. I worked for 1 year for them, where I had a taste of corporate America and working from 8 to 5. And it was a great experience in the IT field for me. Then I decided to do my PhD. So I started my PhD program studies at Texas A&M International in Laredo, where I graduated in less than 3 years. And then I accepted my first assistant professor position at Our Lady of the Lake University in San Antonio. Then I stayed there 1 year, and then I went to University of Kansas Medical Center in Kansas City, where I taught for 4 years health information management and health informatics in the undergrad and the graduate level, School of Health Professions and the School of Nursing. It was a great experience as well, but I felt I wanted to go to a school of business, so I ended up deciding to go to University of Oklahoma, where I worked for 1 year, but it was very teaching heavy, and I am a researcher as well, so I love to do research and teaching. So I decided to come to UTRGV, where it is more balanced, and my research is focusing on the impact of information technology on human behavior. And specifically, I have been studying the dark side of information technology, such as smartphone addiction, social media addiction, video game addiction, and how that relates and affects performance and health of individuals. So now let's go to Blackboard. Kind of to go quickly over how it is organized. So Blackboard, when you log in, again, you will see that respect sign, and you can start with welcome here, just again some information here related to the syllabus, and then the syllabus is provided to you here in a link. You can click on it, and that's where you will find more details about the logistics that I covered with you by email, my information, and also about where we are meeting in Edinburgh and in Brownsville, or if we are not meeting again. But this is some of the information that might be related or not. Again, I provided to you here the link for the book, and this is the second book that you can purchase it for Power BI. Provided to you other resources, references that are free you can use if you wanted to go in more depth in some of the areas. This is some for blogs and feeds that you can subscribe to. They are free and they are very helpful. And then I provided to you here under software requirement the links for how to, for example, here how to download and install Office, Microsoft Office. So let's go back here, and then Power BI. I have again instructions for you, Tableau and parallels. And this is the schedule that you can print from here. that is very helpful for you to that way you don't miss any of the assignments. So again, I have a great first week and we will have a great semester. I'm really excited about this course. I have worked really hard to develop this course for you, and I expect you to work hard as well. And again, it's a lot of a lot of work, but it is very rewarding. Again, one of my students sent me an email when she took my master's level data visualization course, and she was saying, because she was a music teacher before she joined our program. And she said, "Thank you, Dr. McBill, for admitting me into the master's program and also for teaching me Tableau, because I just received an offer as a Tableau developer position, and they are offering me more than $100,000. So I hope that you all are going to benefit from this course and you are going to get even better offers. So all the best to you, and I will see you soon in the next lecture.